Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Inside the American Dynasty League. With me, as always, is the commish, Clyde Randall Waters, and math boy, Alan Henley. Let's start this week off.
Hold on. Breaking news. There's breaking news.
Whoa, we didn't even start the show.
News. Josh Gordon just being reinstated on a conditional basis.
No way.
And I'm picking him up.
Gordon may join the Browns to attend meetings to engage conditioning. You can't pick him up because I'm pretty sure the Schmitty Werber Yegerman Jensen's drafted him.
I was joking. I won't
They
pick
did.
him up anyway.
The Schmitty Werber Yegerman Jensens have like 3 or 4 suspended players on their team.
Let's call him right now and see how he feels about this happening.
It's calling him live.
Maybe.
Just a second here.
Just a second here.
This is breaking news.
If you're not aware, this will be... it's been a long time since he's played.
Yeah.
He's been suspended a long time.
Do you think if he comes back, do you think he'll even be good?
I don't know. Jim says yes. At least he did today.
Hey, what's up?
Jim Burwinkle.
What's up?
You're live on Inside the American Dynasty League. We have breaking news. We just learned that your boy, Josh Gordon, was just reinstated to the NFL. How do you feel?
I'm astonished.
Astonished, he says.
Well,
Is this even real news?
This is
Have I
real-
even seen this yet?
this is real news.
This is absolutely real news that we have just received.
Only real news on Inside the American Dynasty League.
It is a conditional
Powered by
reinstatement.
BBL
He
Studios.
can start conditioning and training with the Browns immediately, I believe.
Oh, man.
Jim Burwinkle, do you think that Josh Gordon will be any sort of a benefit to the Cleveland Browns?
The Cleveland Browns will win the Super Bowl next year because of Josh Gordon.
Hot takes are being produced here live and Inside the American Dynasty League where Jim Burwinkle says that the Cleveland Browns will win the Super Bowl next year because of one wide receiver.
Mr. Burwinkle, this is Mike. What do you think the chances are that they win a game this season now?
Higher. Hey, did you hear that Josh Gordon got conditionally reinstated?
Yes, we just told you that.
No, I'm talking to my roommate Adam.
All right, we're live on the air, so we're gonna let you go.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim. Have a good night.
You're welcome.
See ya, Jim.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, well, let's take a look at last week's matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week.
All right, I hit the button a second time. Whoops.
Man.
Last week's matchup of the week was the Subliminal Criminals versus the Hairy Berries. Math boy, give me some numbers.
Oh, man. So I wasn't sure about this last week, but if I won, I was like, do I take first in the division? Well, I did. I took first.
These aren't numbers. These are words.
Fartface lost. Harry Berry's lost. I won with the help of Deshaun Watson and Jack Doyle getting me both 30 or more points.
I've still heard no numbers.
I just said 30 points from both of those players, sir.
It's about time.
I was a little scared. Kicker Harrison Butker
Yeah.
was just phenomenal on Monday night. This matchup really did come down to Monday night.
It all comes down to Monday night.
Demarius Thomas, I thought he'd do better than 11.6 points, but kind of a Demarius Thomas-y showing. And Harrison Butker, I didn't expect to get 21, so I was a little scared. Thought maybe that Harry Berries could pull closer here, but never did. Had another strong showing from Adam Thielen. Wondering if he's going to maybe take some of that from Stephon Diggs.
Looks like he already has, considering Tate has only put up 6 points this week.
Yeah. So, The only other interesting fact I have right off the bat here is the Subliminal Criminals was 94.8% efficient with the efficiency rating from Harry Berry's of an 86.7. Both really good.
But I believe, now I don't want to step on your toes.
No, go for it.
I'm not the mathematician. But I believe 94 is higher than 86.
It is, yes.
Boom.
So, and even with the Harry Berry's optimal lineup, it wasn't enough to even beat the points that Subliminal Criminals put up.
Well, you're right. I think this matchup was won based on the efficiency of these teams here. Subliminal Criminals was way more efficient than the Harry Berries. This was a matchup that lived up to the hype of matchup of the week.
Little matchup of the week.
Well, how about we look at any other notable matchups we may have seen this week?
I'd like to talk about one.
Oh, what's that?
I'd like to talk about the Winterfell Direwolves versus the Black Stags. The pillow fight of the week. But I only want to talk about it because I won.
This match had almost no meaning to anything going on in the league.
Yes, but here's the thing. It proves again that the 0 player is magical. It is magical. Willie Sneed, 0 points, but victory with the Direwolves, like I predicted last week on the show.
Any other notable matchups?
Well, I was going to bring a notable one up here. The Fast and Furious versus the Mama's Boys.
Mama's Boys.
This was a big win this week for Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious looked rough and tough and put out a great score even though they're only 77% efficient. And you would think that this matchup would have been closer. But then you take that deep dive. You take the time to look at the other team and you realize the Mama's Boys, well, they didn't just pick that name because it was funny. They picked that name because it's the truth.
It is.
The Mama's Boys obviously didn't consult Mama this week.
No.
And didn't set their lineup appropriately. They left people like Terrence West, who wasn't playing this week, in their lineup. They left someone like Eric Decker, who wasn't playing this week.
He was on a bye. There wasn't even a chance that he could play this week.
In his lineup. Mike Wallace, who wasn't playing this week, in his lineup. Dan Bailey, who didn't play this week, in his lineup. And on to top it all off,
Isn't Dan Bailey not even on a team anymore?
He's just hurt.
He's just hurt.
I thought they cut him.
No, I don't believe
I
so.
don't think they cut him.
Are you sure?
I'm not positive, but this still says he's with Dallas.
Man, I thought they cut him.
You should look that up while we continually berate.
Come on, Math Boy.
We continue to berate Mama's Boys here for their lack and complete disregard for setting a good lineup this week.
I'll tell you what it is it's disrespectful. It's rude. It's disgusting. It's probably one of the worst things you can do in this world. Because not only do you have no self-respect for yourself as to actually fulfill your commitments and allow your yes to be a yes and your no to be a no, because you said yes to this league, sir, but you give Fast and the Furious an automatic win in a race that's fairly close for the playoffs, thus disrespecting me, disrespecting him, and disrespecting all the other people in the league. I can't even do the math of how many people you disappointed.
It'd be about 11.
Well, here's some more math. If Mama's Boys just would have replaced the players who were out with the players they had available to them on their bench, players such as DeAndre Hopkins, who had 36 points this week, or Lamar Miller, who had 22 points this week, or Matt Prater, who had 18 points this week, probably could have pulled a win had Fast and Furious kept and maintained the lineup that they finished the week with.
Those 3 players you just spoke about, they had 70 points combined, right?
Woo!
Just those 3. You only had to replace 3, and you had a magic 0.
Woo! So
Dan Bailey is in fact with Dallas, and
I am putting Mama's Boys on notice.
they are on blast right now. I don't know what that means. People just say it though.
on blast.
I also have heard the kids say these days that they were triggered. I don't know what that means.
We were so triggered, we were throwing shade right now.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of shade.
I shaded the trigger with my
Mama's
finger.
Boys ain't going to see the sun for days after they watch this.
So much shit, I don't know who's throwing
Do
it.
you even think Mama's Boy watches the show?
Based on the fact that they can't set a lineup, I don't think so, because I don't know if you noticed this.
Don't
At the
be
end of every
Dan.
episode, I remind everyone to set their lineup and have fun.
You do.
Well,
Because you
valid
didn't
point.
set your lineup, none of us could have fun.
This will serve as an official notice, though. I'll follow up with an email that you need to be mindful. Try to set a competitive lineup. Obviously, there are some weeks that you're probably not going to find a proper replacement. But you had the players, you had the personnel, you didn't do it. This is notice. If this occurs again, we'll move you to where your lineup's probably set automatically, and well, you might not get invited to be part of the league next season.
Bum, bum.
All right.
Let's move on. We spent a lot of time.
Let's take a look at our awards of the week.
I just want to say something real quick.
I already said the
Look,
awards
I
of
know,
the week
but
thing. We
look.
can't go back.
So Dan Bailey's
I
still,
said it
still,
already.
still with Dallas, but they called Mike Nugent, quote, money. He was money in his debut. Didn't the Bengals cut that guy because he's bad?
Correct. But again, I've already said, let's move on to the awards of the week. I even did the motion.
The motion? Is that the motion for everything?
It is.
Okay.
It's my emphasis motion. I do it a lot. The Hershey Milk Dud Player of the Week. This is for the Dud Player of the Week who just stunk. This one is going out to who, Kamish?
You make me air out my own dirty laundry, huh?
Is it your own dirty laundry?
Oh, wrong league.
It's my dirty laundry. Your dirty laundry. I make you deal with my dirty laundry.
So,
Nice gig.
anyways,
It's not gonna be how it
the
works.
milk dud of the week, we're throwing this one out to Jameis Winston. Only putting up 2.1 points this week, and I believe the 2.1 points after some stat corrections, because his game actually finished at almost at 1.8, and then they threw him an extra couple yards
Thanks, Jameis.
to get him 2.1. Jameis Winston is supposed to be an elite quarterback in this league. He's supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
He's supposed to be on a team that is playoff bound this year. Supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
However, maybe he's just having too much fun in the sun down in Florida. Anyways, Jameis Winston, you're our milk dud of the week.
All right. Next up, we got the Ram Pick'em of the Week, brought to you by Ram Trucks. After a lot of miles, you'll have to get new tires on them, but then it rides real nice. Math Boy, who's getting this one?
This one goes out to Juju Smith-Schuster, the rookie. For Pittsburgh, the Steelers, they're lame. We don't like the Steelers. He got him for $31, which I thought was a little expensive, but he got him 32.3 points.
Guys,
So,
this is better stuff. Oh, we're good.
All right. Next up, we got the Whoopin' of the Week, brought to you by Burger King, home of the Whopper. This week is going out to who, Kamish?
This week, the whoopin' game of the week goes out to the Fast and Furious over the Mama's Boys for their 66-point win over a team that didn't even start a full lineup.
Man.
yeah.
Resurrected Team of the Week, brought to you by Lazarus Department Stores, is going out to the Schmitty Vergen Megerman Vimfimf. With an improved score of 46.02 points, keeping them just barely in playoff contention in the Blue Division. Let's see. This is true resurrection right there.
Yes, it is.
Next up, we have the Poopery Poo Poo Team of the Week, going out to who, Math Boy?
It's going out to Mama's Boys, who didn't start a full lineup yet still avoided somehow the lowest score ever in league history, getting them the second lowest score in league history with 74.62 points.
Garbage. You've already addressed this. Garbage. Next up, we got the Surprise Player of the Week, the Breakout Player of the Week, brought to you by Proactive. Let your players break out, not your face. Math Boy, who is getting this one?
Well, this week, the Surprise Player of the Week is Robbie Anderson with 22.5 points, wide receiver for the Jets, owned by you.
Yeah. The commish.
The commish.
Clyde Randall Waters.
He's turned out to be pretty good. With Jeremy Curley got a suspension for something. Yeah.
And I think it was like a team suspension.
Yeah.
The team
Yeah.
said, you're
So-
done.
Robbie Anderson's looking good.
Yeah, he's something. I mean, somebody's got to catch the ball sometime. And
Hey,
And
McCown's
New
one of the
York,
best in the league right now. He's
That's
tossing
true.
the
That's
tossing
true.
the rock real well.
It's true.
The
You know,
Rock.
Robbie Anderson was a late pickup for me in the draft.
It's a good movie.
Whatever. My team's my team, and
Nicolas
I have
Cage,
Robbie Anderson.
Sean Connery. Sean Connery's next con.
So yeah, that was the awards.
So those were our awards of the week.
Awards.
Awards of the week. It's more direct.
Sorry.
I'm not going, hey, it's a nice looking woman. I'm going, awards of the week.
What if we go into some quick hits?
I like that.
The fancy quick hits are going to seem to be a bit of a repeat with what happened earlier in the
Just
show.
make it quick, because I'll talk about something else here.
Yes. It's extremely important that you set your lineup. As a matter of fact, you will be required to set your lineup. If you don't do it, we will force a lineup upon you of our choosing. It does a random thing. It's math. It's science. Don't worry about it. Commish.
Anyways, if you weren't aware, there were some trades happening in NFL this week. Here's some trades of note that might be impacting your team. Let's see. One big trade, we had Kelvin Benjamin
Kelvin Benjamin.
going over to the Bills.
The Bills.
You had
Crazy fans.
Jay Ajayi leaving the sunny South Florida and heading up to Philly, home of the cheesesteak.
That's gonna be cold.
Heads up, if you ever in Philly,
Cheesesteaks, though.
I highly recommend
Cheese
Lorenzo's
steaks.
cheesesteaks.
That's true.
They're-
Would you trade Florida for cheesesteaks?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I would trade the entire state of Florida for a cheesecake.
For just
Pure
one?
cheesesteak.
One time, Mike and I. Oh, sorry. 2 different times, Mike and I have drove to Philadelphia just to get cheesesteaks. However, the last one of note is backup QB for the Patriots, Jimmy Garoppolo,
Jimmy G.
going from the far East Coast all the way to the far West Coast, ending up in, that's right, San Francisco, home of rice-a-roni and fortune cookies.
I would trade San Francisco for a kick in the nuts.
Anyways, those trades happened in the NFL this week. Some of you may own some of those players. I actually own 2 of them. So, we'll see how that impacts my team going forward. Who knows?
We'll find out.
All right. And those are our fantasy quick hits. Yeah. All right, next up, let's take a look at this week's Mama Matchup of the Week.
Mama matchup of the week.
This week's Mama Matchup of the Week is between the Fast and the Furious and the Harrison Bullfrogs. Math Boy, give us the numbers.
I'm giving you the numbers. All right, so this is for first place of the Blue Division. Again, 3 teams are tied atop the division, 5-5. There's so much potential for any team in that division to win.
Who are the 3 teams that are tied?
I don't know right now. Let me look. Let me look.
You can't just throw out these
It's the
stats
Mud-
and make them up.
It is the Mud Dogs,
That's what I do.
the Harrison Bullfrogs, and the Fast and Furious. All tied, 5-5, with Mama's Boys and the Schmitty Werber Jagerman Johnsons just behind them at 4-6. So this division is literally anybody's division. Even the Red Squirrels have a shot if they can find a team at 3-7. So it's gonna be a good one this week.
Would you say a good old good one or just a standard good one?
Well,
There's a lot of buys for the Fast and Furious, so it's just going to be a good one. They're missing Melvin Gordon. They're missing Antonio Brown. That's a huge loss.
that's basically their top 2
And
players
that's-
outside of Carson Wentz there.
Yep, and that's going to hurt. I'm not sure who they have to replace him. We'll find out here soon. And the Harrison Bullfrogs are only missing their kicker. So it's not like they're taking a big hit this week, and they have a strong team. But even with them having their full team, the Fast and Furious are still projected to win right now.
It's It's projected to be a close one. Let's see here. When these two teams faced off earlier this season, the Fast and Furious only lost by 13 points, which is pretty close considering some of the gaps we have in this league. So, put some players on bye, see some teams retooled after the last 6 weeks since they last played. I really think this matchup of the week is going to be one to pay attention to.
Actually got an interview with the owner of the Harrison Bullfrogs.
How do you do that?
Adam
It's so
Foster,
novel.
said our crack team out there, and he had this to say: statistics can be misleading.
What can be misleading?
Statistics can be misleading.
Okay.
What do you think about that, Math Boy?
I'd like to think they can be misleading, but really, their statistics come from somewhere. It comes from production, comes from what happens. So there's legitimacy in the statistics.
What if I told you in response to this,
Okay, I'm listening.
the owner and head coach of the Fast and the Furious, Terry Cummings, said, "We have to shore up our defense."
I don't see. They have Philadelphia's defense. They've been short all year.
They're shored up.
No, they don't need to shore anything up. They just need to play defense like they played last week.
Shored up.
No, none of this. Just keep playing.
I thought it was this.
No,
That's the emphasis.
That's the emphasis.
This is shored up.
Shored up emphasis.
All right.
This is like become an episode of the OA here. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. It's on
Seriously,
Netflix.
we actually called Netflix and requested a second season with a young lady, and she was really great. Good customer service. Good way to go, Netflix. All right. So, Math Boy, who are you taking?
Even with the buys of Melvin Gordon and Antonio Brown, I think I gotta take Fast and Furious.
Commish?
I'm taking Fast and Furious for the big upset.
I'm taking the Fast and Furious too, which makes this a
Sweep.
All right. Next up, let's get ready for our 2-minute drill.
Should we mix this 2-minute drill up and
Sure.
bring in a special guest?
Let's bring in a special guest for the 2-minute drill. His name is Jack, and he's the owner of Big Ben's Love Child.
Oh yeah!
Come
Here
on,
we go.
Jack.
Come on, Jack! Bring
Live
it
in studio,
Live
we have
studio.
Jack.
Eating some dinner.
All right.
No big deal. who are you taking from that matchup of the week?
Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious.
That still makes it a sweep.
You gotta do it too, buddy.
Come on, you gotta be with me. There you go. You gotta say it.
All right, guys.
Sweet. There
We
we
are
go.
starting the 2-minute drill. On your mark,
All right.
get set, start. All right. First one we're going to take a look at is the Schmitty Worgen Megaman versus the Mud Dogs. Commish.
Well, I already had this team picked, but also considering that they're going to be super hyped that Josh Gordon is back reinstated, even though he won't be back for like another few weeks, I'm still taking the Schmitty Werber Jagerman Jensen's.
Math Boy.
Not so fast. Mud Dogs.
Jack.
Mud Dogs.
I'm taking the Dogs too. Next up, we got the Subliminal Criminals versus the Black Stags. Host on host action. Math Boy, who you taking?
Gosh, I hope
Whoa.
not.
The divider up here.
I'm taking the Subliminal Criminals.
Not that kind of.
Commish.
Black Stags, of course.
Big Ben's Love Child.
Black Stags, baby.
Yeah! Taking the Criminals.
As a note, this last time this was a close shave, so we'll see what happens.
All right, we
Oh,
got...
yeah! Because Jordan Nelson went on the field for a snap and then walked off and never
Yep.
played again.
And somehow Paul Perkins caught a ball. Yes!
All right, we got the Red Squirrels versus the Mama's Boys. Big Ben's Love Child.
Mama's Boys.
Math Boy.
They don't set lineups. Red Squirrels.
Commish.
Who would take the Mama's Boys after not setting a lineup?
Big Ben's Love Child, man.
The Red Squirrel.
Hey, they're very aware this week.
I'm taking the Red Squirrels. All right, next up we got Big Ben's Love Child versus the Winterfell Direwolves. Let's start with the Commish.
I'm taking Big Ben's Love Child.
Math Boy.
I'm also taking Big Ben's Love Child.
You're all abandoning me. Big Ben's love
The
child,
team that put up 143 last week.
and I'm taking myself.
Not Ty.
I was not the
believe
team
myself.
that put up 143 last week.
I
won
was
last
the
week.
leading scorer. So I mean,
But who's keeping track?
I
Where we
had
have
to.
this 2 minutes.
We are done with the 2 minutes.
Let's move on.
Well, we got a last
We got the
matchup.
Harry Berries versus the Farty McFartface, Big Ben.
Farty McFartface.
Commish,
I'm taking the Harry Berries.
Math Boy.
I'm gonna go with Farty McFartface.
I'm taking the Harry Berries.
I think that's the first time I did that, Steven. Don't let me down.
All right. Next up, we got the question of the week. Commish.
Well, last week I threw the question out there, who will finish top of the red division when we get to the start of the playoffs? Your options were the Harry Berries, the Farty McFartfaces, or the Subliminal Criminals. Last option, too, was none of the above. We had 5 votes for the Harry Berries. We had 1 vote for the Farty McFartfaces, 1 vote for the Subliminal Criminals, and 3 of us said none of the above.
That's still 2 people not taking it, right, Math?
Well,
That is.
Mama's boys have sent a lineup, so you know they're not voting in the poll.
That's true.
Anyways, I just want to note that Subliminal Criminals are now top of that division, even though they only received 1 vote. Did you even vote for yourself?
I did vote for myself. That's right, everybody.
So you're the only one who believed in you.
I believe in me, and that's all I need.
Anyways, the question for this week is, who will perform better after their trade? Jay Ajayi, Kelvin Benjamin, or Jimmy Garoppolo?
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That'll do it for us this week. Set your lineup. Set your lineup. Set your lineup. Mama's boys, set your lineup. Have fun.
Emphasis.
Get your picks in. And have a good week, sir and ma'am.
Emphasis.
Bye-bye.